This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. Welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers Discussion, the final Sunday edition. So I hope we'll save, hopefully, Evan Bouchard for Monday, but you just never know. But of course, the Oilers making a little bit of waves this afternoon. Somebody picking up a report there on Sam Gagner on the fan 950, 960. Yeah, that sounds about right. 960. Luke Gazdic talking about him on Friday, basically saying that it sounds more than likely that Sam Gagner will be in Edmonton Oilers training camp on a PTO. We'll get to more on that in a matter of moments, friends. But again, just as we get set up for hockey season here, if you are new to the channel, I want you to consider hitting that subscribe button. And this is where, if you're new or returning, I want you to consider hitting the bell and enabling all notifications so that you can get videos that much faster, right? I think if you follow me for a while, you know I've got a pretty good track record of getting the big stuff out as soon as possible. So if you're new, I'd love to kind of build that rapport with you as well. All right, let's get to it, shall we? Let's get to Sam Gagner quickly here. 48 games played last season, 8 goals, 6 assists, 10.3 shooting percentage. So here's everybody, right? It's kind of 50-50 on Sam Gagner, yet everybody else that we talk about inviting to camp, it's yeah, why not, right? And this is kind of where I'm going to make the argument here. If you're going to invite anyone to camp on a PTO, right? Take a flyer, let's see what happens PTO, right? We've already done that with Brandon Sutter. I would say 100% you have to do it with Sam Gagner. And the reason being is yes, everybody is correct. What Sam Gagner gives you at best, Derek Ryan probably is already doing. And that's not a wrong way to think of it. However, with Derek Ryan transitioning fully to the wing now, and obviously Sam Gagner being on the wing as well, there would be one thing that Sam Gagner can do for you that Derek Ryan cannot. And obviously it's kind of being a little bit off with Derek Ryan than actually doing Sam Gagner a solid and giving him a job. It would be intentionally signing Sam Gagner to a 775 contract, letting him win it, well, after he wins a job at camp, and then sending Derek Ryan down to the AHL. All right, if you follow where I'm going with this, is if Derek Ryan's having a bad training camp, it looks like he's lost a step, or it looks like he's just not going to be serviceable, and Sam Gagner looks like your guy, you know what? You can sign him to a 775 contract. And as Derek Ryan being counted as a regular roster player towards every cap number we're running, that would technically be 125K against the cap that you could use in an Evan Bouchard deal. If you're playing long game here and sign Bouchard now, if you're playing a short game, right, it's 125K you're saving against the cap to go into the trade deadline with. There's a ton of things here that the Oilers have to consider. And when everybody says, yeah, you know what, it's just best we move on from Sam Gagner. Yeah, PTOs are good, but no, let's not. Is, again, if you're going to invite Brandon Sutter, you might as well invite Sam Gagner. And at second, if you look at it mathematically, there would be a cap savings situation for the Oilers for that crowd that says Sam Gagner is the exact same player as Derek Ryan. And really, the only thing I think Sam Gagner has that sets him apart from Derek Ryan is that it's Sam Gagner, right? Literally, that's the thing that sets him aside from Derek Ryan. So if you're looking to run it back, win that Stanley Cup, and have that really good story on your roster, Sam Gagner would be the guy. Started here, been everywhere and nowhere all at the same time. And guess what? He's been up, down, and all around. And guess what? He can finish it off here with a Stanley Cup win. That's a pretty dang good story, right? For a guy who once upon a time had an 8-point night as an Edmonton Oiler, I'd take that. So Sam Gagner, once again, if I'm going to say there's no harm, no foul in a PTO, it's going to be Sam Gagner, and that would be my take right there. That, again, coming from Luke Gazdic on the Fan 960 this past Friday, saying that it sounds likely that he will be there. And if you've been following Oilers players' social media, you know that Sam Gagner is going to be there because he's been hanging out with the boys every single weekend. And it just seems like it would be impossible unless something like the Winnipeg situation comes up last year, again this year, and he just signs a guaranteed contract sometime before camp. All right, that's Sam Gagner. We move on to this tweet from Oilers Access, my friends. The Oilers have invited Ethan DeJong, Preston Lounsbury, Josh Van Mulligan, Noah Van Vilt, Nate Miskey, Braden Stonehouse, and Jake Sloan to rookie camp. These players will play the Young Stars Classic in Penticton from September 15th to September 18th. These 7 players were among the 12 that the Oilers invited to development camp in July. Should have kept the graphic up, I'm telling you, but that's fine and dandy. We'll survive. So yeah, it's 7 guys that you got from development camp earlier in July. Obviously, we did not hear much about any of these guys in development camp because we were focused on guys like Ty Tullio and, of course, our second-round pick, whose name escapes me right now because I did not really pay attention much during that time. But you get where we're going, right? These are guys that'll just fill out the rookie camp roster. I think Ethan DeJong, if I pull up the Condors roster graphic that I had the other video, let's do that now. I believe he is listed on here. Yes. So he's on 1 of 2-year AHL deal, kind of the same program that brought James Hamblin to the NHL with the Edmonton Oilers. So keep that in mind for right now, is when it comes down to it, you may see 1 or 2 of these guys also sign a deal with the Bakersfield Condors, kind of fill out that roster in case injuries, maybe be an ECHL send down. Although it looks like the Fort Wayne Comets, to be quite honest with you, have filled out their roster quite handily as well, having a good local Wainwright kid on there as well, if you paid attention to my Twitter a few days back. But it'll be interesting to see kind of just how Young Stars Classic games go. I believe that'll be the coming out party for Raphael Lavoie, as it was for Dylan Holloway last year, right? Hollywood Holloway came from somewhere, and it was those development camp games in Penticton as the Oilers just kind of rolled around there. I think they had 1 or 2 really good games and then 1 game that didn't go as well. But Dylan Holloway was star of the show, and we'll see just how much Raphael Lavoie can kind of impact things this year as he gears up to trying to win a roster spot with the Edmonton Oilers. Again, another guy who could be victim to that. One, Derek Ryan. Friends, I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. Thank you so much for being along for the ride today. What I will tell you is, again, if you missed my live stream this morning, maybe because it just had my face and you didn't know what was going on, as I've seen some videos seem to do that. We're in that holding pattern with Evan Bouchard currently, so we'll see kind of what breaks down tomorrow. I expect tomorrow to be a busy news day off the organization for the Edmonton Oilers, as I believe there was last week a big Edmonton radio sports announcement teased. So be on the watch out tomorrow for about probably 10 o'clock to see. My speculation is that Sportsnet is going to move a radio station into Edmonton and take over the airwaves from TSN, obviously covering the AM. Again, will remain to be seen on that, but also what I theorized a couple of months ago when we talked about TSN 1260 going off air is the fact that potentially you see 630 Ched move to FM this fall, and obviously they've announced some big changes with their lineup as well, so we'll see what ends up happening here with, of course, 630 Ched and a potential competitor moving into the market space. Friends, I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV for the final time today. I'm up on out of here.